right.
Well, all right then. So that actually happened in a means that was kind of good for it to happen.
They make it very easy to end the stream, by the way. I'm just saying.
Yeah, like too easy.
Hi, everyone. Welcome.
Yeah. The kill switch is like this big and red. Oh, don't do it. Don't press it. So
we made it early this evening. I'm so proud of us.
You know, we had all those parts together.
Yay.
Good preparation makes things happen. And
hi, Sylvia. Good to see you. You're our first guest this evening.
Willkommen, bienvenue.
Yes.
So good to have you here.
Yay.
How about it? And we have some people waiting on YouTube, or did we not see that?
No, there are people waiting. It's YouTube takes. There's a lag.
There's a whole
whatever.
thing that happens. I'm just saying that we're in now. So if you're waiting,
hi.
You're here. So.
Oh, from Springfield, Oregon. Well, Sylvia, I'm so happy you can join us from the West Coast.
West Coast reporting for duty.
Hey.
Yeah.
So. Kolchak happy hour. Okay, well, first of all, I asked this on our Patreon, but I would love to know your favorite Halloween or spooky TV shows. We make so much out of the movies.
Mm-hmm. Because they're very prominent, of course.
Hi, Mom!
We have a few.
Yay! Hello. Happy Spooky Wednesday to you. Yeah, I feel like we... Hi, Abra. Good to see you.
And hello to you, too.
And
hello, Julie.
Julie, hello.
Yes.
I was saying, I feel like so much is made of Twilight Zone, which I love.
Hello.
Hi, Errol and Lisa.
There's even the new Twilight Zone.
Good to see you. Oh, Lisa's in Facebook jail. So if anyone was waiting to see Lisa on Facebook, she's on YouTube this evening. But hi.
Fans of other classic shows from the 80s. Tales from the Dark Side gets a lot of attention.
Oh, thank you, Julie.
Of course. Yep.
Hi, Peter. Oh, yeah. Oh, West Coast, Best Coast. I love it. And let's see. Did I miss anyone?
Let's see. No, I think you're going to follow. I'm going to follow along again.
Yay! Okay, so
stream in and boom.
Much is made of scary movies, which I love a scary movie, and I love Twilight Zone, but I just feel like there are other spooky shows from all eras, and I would like to know what your favorites are.
Well,
because I haven't seen all of them.
Somebody really needs to throw down a vote for the Outer Limits.
Oh, I love Outer Limits.
Contemporary of the Twilight Zone for a season.
Hi, Eric.
Or so.
Oh yeah, Night Stalker was awesome. Been watching it in preparation, researching it.
20 episodes. It really barely made it through a season before something got yanked. I think you're gonna make 20 episodes. Make like 28 episodes and just make a full thing of it. What the hell? So they must have.
Thank you, Abra.
They must have completed their initial run or something. I know that you do a first run on shows and it's like 13.
Peter says, "Who remembers The Hitchhiker?" I never saw that.
Hitchhiker.
So, all right. So see, this is what I wanted. I wanted people to tell me what I should be watching.
Big fun.
Hello, Baron von Swankenstein.
Hey, Schwanky.
And Lisa, there you are, Lisa.
Binging Kolchak.
Yay!
Is there a test? Well, if we had seriously boned up on it, we'd be spinning things out. Who played?
I did watch. I mean, we watched all.
Who played the werewolf?
A long time ago, but I did watch 6 in preparation for
this. That's pretty great.
6 of my favorites.
I took a look at the show titles to remind myself, refresh the brain cells about all of these episodes.
Friday the 13th, this series. Baron von Swankenstein says another one I haven't seen. So thank you.
Wow, that's kind of
thank you.
You're thinking to yourself,
Dark Shadows.
That couldn't possibly be a network show. What? I don't think it was.
Yeah, Julie says Dark Shadows. Yes.
Dark Shadows.
Yes. I love it. I love it. You're reminding me of things I need to watch.
Dark Shadows. This was daytime drama. So there were like 5 of those a week. There's literally hundreds of them out there.
There's just not
for about a 5-year period
to sit down and watch a movie.
Yeah. There was some channel it's a good 30 years ago now that was actually re-showing the Dark Shadows, and they were the black and white episodes from 1966, and it was really cool because they were all in great shape.
Are we Las Vegas stalking tonight or Seattle strangling?
You take your pick, huh? Oh boy!
I have 2 drinks prepared to make. Well, I'm not prepared. I'm prepared to make.
You're prepared to make.
And we'll see what happens after that.
Prepared to make the drinks.
And
what
he has
you are
2 prepared as well.
Yes, we do.
So
big fun, and once
hi,
you
Gettysburg, ma'am.
Once you see the end of those, you'll see why I stop it too.
Ooh, taking the pumpkin bread out of the oven, lovely.
Ah, lovely. Nice.
Oh yes, Alfred Hitchcock Presents totally counts. I love that show.
Sure. because it's usually macabre, frequently pretty creepy. Come into my cellar kind of stuff, and usually has a fairly sick sense of humor in a very Alfred Hitchcock way.
Abra, Peter, and Julie. Lisa says hi over on YouTube. So
we in fact have Alfred Hitchcock behind us. So a classic.
The funny thing is, when I think of Alfred Hitchcock Presents, I think of trimming the Christmas tree, because for several years while we were getting ready for our Christmas party, that was what was on. So I would just stream it all night long. It was
just let that rip.
So I know it doesn't seem very
fun series,
Christmassy, but there it is.
I think it ran for.
Oh, Lisa, you're getting highs back.
Something like 6 or 8 seasons. Alfred Hitchcock Presents. It was a very popular series at the time.
Oh, Lisa watched them. Oh, good for you. We watched them all a while back, but yeah. She had Kolchak on. It's such a good one to have on.
You can just let it rip.
Tales from the Dark Side's follow-up show. Yeah, I haven't seen that.
I remember Dark Side being broadcast well at the time, and I remember one of my
Lisa loves Alfred Hitchcock.
One of my film professors. Well, it was not a film professor, a film instructor actually. Directed an episode, so that was kind of fun. So I remember we watched, and she made a big point about the fact that, the budget of this show was not high, and there was a monster, and it's like we had to make a lot of what we had for a monster. That's creativity in action.
Oh, Lisa, you're getting hellos back. Yay. All right.
Hang on.
Oh, Alfred. Oh, Bill says Alfred was my neighbor when I was growing up. Hi, Bill, by the way.
That should be pretty...
Oh, my gosh.
That's pretty fun to have as a neighbor.
That'd be hilarious.
Like, you walk your dog past the house, and he's just standing there saying, make sure you don't actually step on the lawn. Bad things will happen.
Oh, Monsters was the show's title. Okay.
Yeah. Monsters was that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hi, Lisa.
I'm trying to think of other creepy shows. Have we had a note ringing in for the X-Files? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of your shows, totally inspired by Kolchak.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so many times I've read about, inspired by the Twilight Zone. Yeah, kind of, but really it's Kolchak that's driving that thing. And also In Search Of. In Search Of, not that kind of show, not a monster show, except frequently dealt with such things. So that almost fits into this sort of thing, too. It's a little more, weird science, supernatural.
Abra says perfect Hitchcock impression.
I try.
He's good at impressions. I'm the actor, but he's good at impressions.
Actually,
Hi, Gwen. Good to see you. I can make it
better, but there's a really good
Billy
Money story about working with Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh, Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt. Oh, yes.
Such good ones.
As I recall, yeah.
Oh, Bill says I had a small part in Lost Boys. It was filmed mostly in Santa Cruz. Wow.
Speaking of
what part was it?
Vampiric
Or do I have to go watch
movies.
And find out?
Yeah. Go watch fast, I know.
Oh, yeah. Darren McGavin guessed it a few times on the X-Files. Yes.
Of course. It's the kind of thing.
Yes.
While taking a look at these things, I realized that there were 2 TV movies that preceded Kolchak. I think there was the Night Stalker and the Night Strangler.
Yep.
So that sort of establishes the character, and then eventually there's the go-ahead to do a series, which I don't know what happened with this series. It's like they put it in a bad slot.
Hi, Jen Len.
Didn't get audience, or maybe they just...
What's the drink?
Network
I haven't made it
was
yet.
nervous or something and just pulled the plug, which is stupid. But, these networks couldn't figure out Star Trek in its first run either. So, not too surprised. HBO,
in the 80s, yeah.
Great fun. But Dark Side.
Oh, Lisa says still hooked on the Thriller TV program. Okay.
There was a series based on Roald Dahl stories from 1961.
Oh, yeah.
A friend of ours introduced us to called Way Out.
Yeah, I like that one.
Which was narrated by Roald, and this is really disconcerting because he's a little wall-eyed, so he's just talking to you in this extreme close-up, and you're like, ugh. And the only videos out there is really pretty crummy, so it looks it's even more disconcerting than that, to tell you the truth. I remember seeing an episode it was pretty wacky.
Night Gallery, yes.
Night Gallery,
yes.
There you go. Another vote for all Rod Sterling. We had a lot of votes for Night Gallery when we started talking about these shows, a week or two ago. And I got to say, it's no Twilight Zone, but it's got something.
Oh, okay. Bill says, Lost Boys, I was on the trestle by the boardwalk.
Trestle.
Okay. Okay.
Watch fast, folks, and you can see Bill just standing there going, so anyway, don't go that way. No.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I love this. I'm going to go watch it again. It's streaming. I think it's streaming on something we have because I saw it come up for me.
Oh, okay. Well, that would make a lot of sense. At this
Oh, yeah. No, we didn't have HBO either.
No. Oh, jeez.
If I wanted to watch HBO, I had to go to a friend's house.
No, didn't own that. No, didn't. My mother didn't pay for that. She didn't actually get cable for some time into my teens. And then I guess she just decided, oh, well, and the price was right. And then she was good with it. And then I also suddenly had control of a television set. And I was just, what's that we can watch? And fun stuff. I think I may have described seeing the, who am I thinking of? It's not Vampira. Or Vampira.
Elvira?
The Elvira. Halloween special, 1984. I think we mentioned that on a prior. And that was like all these whack job music videos.
Oh, yes. Really fun. Love Darren McGavin. Yes, I can talk. Love Darren McGavin and Christmas Story. Yes.
Something.
This tapestry of obscenities.
Some artists work in oils. So.
Oh, Lisa says, I really thought Paul would have worn a seersucker suit with a tape recorder. He only got home,
very recently.
Not long before we went live. But do you have a seersucker jacket?
I generally do not own a seersucker suit. But I have a tape recorder. I
remember whether you did or not.
I really should have whipped out the tape recorder, and I can definitely do that. I do not have his tape recorder. He's just got a little cassette machine.
Rod Serling's Night Gallery, yes.
There we go, another bar.
Read Rod Serling's Night Gallery and After Hours Tour. Okay, okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to read that.
Yeah, the thing about Zone was that when he did the series, and I remember I read the Scott Zicree book about the Twilight Zone, which was published, 40 years ago now. And I remember he made a really large point about the fact that Serling cut his teeth on live TV in the 50s. And live TV and network TV at the time was all like single sponsor oriented. Sponsor had a lot to say about content. So if there was something in the script that was a little questionable, it was like yanked. And you were like, Maxwell House was telling you to yank the line. It was idiotic. And Sterling got really, really irritated with this whole state of affairs.
I have to interject.
Whole scripts got
this
tossed.
Is funny.
Yeah.
Gettysburg Ma'am says, I was so excited when my grandfather got a satellite dish. We used to stay up late and watch movies until we accidentally found the naughty channel.
And then you're watching the Emmanuel series.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
A different style of horror.
Exactly.
Softcore.
Harold says, LOL, Paul, and the cable in your teens. We got a TV in 1980.
Big town. Well, my mother's second set for years was, I believe, was Zenith, and it was black and white. That came from a neighbor. So it was probably an early 60s black and white set. Probably a good 20-inch set anyway, but that was the thing. Big, huge tube set, weighed half a ton. But anytime I wanted to watch something that my sister didn't want to watch, I was on black and white, which is why. That's how I remember Planet of the Apes. So,
Chen Lin says, 5 minutes in and you don't have a drink made. All right. All right, time to focus.
You make drink and I'll finish my fun story about things. I
need to say what I'm doing, though.
Oh, we'll see what you're doing.
Okay, well.
Start it up.
For my first drink of the evening, I will be making something I'm calling the Headless Biker.
Do you have a middle part? Yes, you do.
I do. From the Chopper episode.
Chopper.
Get it?
Just watched.
Chopper.
Just watched. Co-written by Robert Zemeckis, as shown in the credits. And he cut his teeth well.
Motorcycles and it's Chopper.
Mm-hmm.
Play on words. All right.
Big fun. A lot of good motorcycle effects in that one.
Bourbon.
That's a good place to start with almost anything I said.
I'm using a nice middle-of-the-road bourbon because the bikers wouldn't have had a fancy one. Also, no, I don't have a fancy one.
They would have been really put out if they'd had to buy a shot of Crown, you know?
Okay, I'm going to use a half ounce of coffee orange syrup, which I made today.
Hello.
And I will tell you how to do it. Mm-hmm. All you do is take 3/4 of a cup hot coffee, combine it with 3/4 of a cup sugar, and the peel of 1 orange. And then you let it steep for several hours.
And you get that flavor.
It's really good. I tried it.
Give it a sniff here.
Half ounce.
Oh, yeah. I can smell that right there.
Lemon juice.
That would be really great in a dessert drink.
It would be.
Like a dessert drinks, which frequently feature bits of flaming peel and all that.
I just got these yesterday. 5 dashes black walnut bitters from
B Brothers. Big fun. And what was I talking about before?
Hold on.
Not happening. There you go.
It would be 5 if they weren't getting
maybe it's more
held
like,
up.
Maybe it's more like 10, but we like to punch the flavor, folks.
No, I would say 5 because once it starts to flow,
then away you go.
Shake with ice.
Shake with ice.
Stream into a cocktail glass.
Oh, you can do the cocktail glass.
I could.
Perhaps something chilled.
Yes.
Perhaps something that'll make it taste 73% better.
Indeed.
All
right. Thank you.
And there you go.
All right.
And big fun.
I have cherries, but
yeah, it was.
I don't know.
In the middle of a story, I'm trying to remember. I got to go back to the comments.
Uh-oh.
We were talking about. Oh yes, it was why Rod Serling, why the Twilight Zone had better controls on it than Night Gallery. Because after years of working in live TV and then those meddling sponsors, Serling's just like he's interested in a show, he pitches it, but he had to have a lot more executive control over it. So it had a much more coherent vision. He wrote a lot of the scripts. So the first couple of seasons, it's just spot on. And it starts still waver a little bit. Even within those seasons, there's some clinkers. But it's generally like really consistent.
Hi, Elizabeth.
For about like 3.5 years. And then they do those hour-long episodes, which are like not really the format. And then a final season, which has a lot of great episodes.
Squirrel.
So.
All right, so, and I'm going to add a twist of lemon peel. Oh, Julie's asking. Okay, I want to make sure I didn't miss any comments.
Tonight's theme is, in fact, Kolchak.
Yes.
You're watching The Man on the Computer. And there we go. Squirrel. Yes.
Oh my God, I love this.
Got a good fun thing going on, huh? Let's try this out.
Try it. And I've got extra. Yay. Oh, Julie's asking, which
really nice.
Kolchak movie or TV episode is your favorite?
Well, you've been watching a bunch of them?
Yes. I mean, I've seen all of them at one point.
One point or another.
I'm thinking.
I would say right off the bat.
I love it. Okay, everyone's like talking amongst themselves on YouTube.
Oh, bring it.
Okay, yes.
Excellent.
Okay,
Excellent.
all right, awesome.
Yep.
My favorite.
Right off the bat, I do like Chopper. I think that's actually very well done.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good ensemble in the cast there. And the demon in this case, the sort of headless biker, whereas it's a little clumsily deployed in the TV series because this is obviously way too large for a biker. It's well done though, and I think that the whole shtick with that is all right. And it's pretty spooky because people are being chased by sword wielding maniac.
Yep.
I recall The Ripper, which is the premiere episode, being
I
intense.
watched that today. Yeah,
pretty intense too.
I was that might be it.
Yeah.
The Ripper. I also like the one. What's it called?
Just need a list of the episodes.
I need to bring it up.
Yeah. We have the box set over there. I could just go grab it. But
the one where.
The one with the witches.
The one
with the zombies.
Where.
The one with the other one with the witches. The one with the
one where
monster.
The succubus is like inhabiting the bodies of recently dead girls and using them to kill college boys.
The succubus.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's the name of that episode?
It's not Horror in the Heights. We just saw that one.
That's a good one though.
The Hindu monster.
They're all good. They're all good. Yep. Okay.
They really runs the gamut with like
the name of this one.
World creeps and whatnot. Isn't there one with the golem? Or was that the X-Files?
The one I'm talking about right now is
Medicine, Spanish Moss. That's the one with the swamp monster. Mr. R-I-N-G.
Demon in Lace. That's the one I'm thinking of.
A succubus.
A succubus takes over the bodies of recently deceased young women so it can seduce and kill young college students.
I tell you, incubus, succubus, legacy of terror with the Aztecs cutting hearts out of people.
Would made-for-TV movies count? Sure. Hi, Betty.
Absolutely.
Good to see you.
Isn't Trilogy of Terror made for TV?
Oh, Betty says the zombie one still scares me. Yeah, I watched that one again today, too.
Yep. Yeah, seriously. They're frequently pretty spooky and creepy. And the one we just watched last night with the
Oh, like,
the fashion show with the fashion
my
parade
second
there.
drink is inspired by that one.
Was, of course, you've got all of these mannequins moving around.
Mm-hmm.
Itself pretty creepy and reminiscent of that Twilight Zone episode, The After Hours. So
Jen Lynn's asking what the drink is. This one's called the Headless Biker. 2 ounces of bourbon, a half-ounce coffee orange syrup, a half-ounce fresh lemon juice, and 5 dashes black walnut bitters.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually getting those flavors in there. It's well done. And speaking of
hold
which...
on, Gettysburg Ma'am says, so my Santa beard and wig came in for Halloween. I think I'm going to be... I love that. I love that. I love that you're doing that.
Oh, Santa with a lay. That's just
Santa
a classic.
On vacay.
Right,
yeah, yes.
Drinking a coconut. There you go.
I love it.
Put the lime in the coconut.
Fabulous.
And kids, you better be good.
I do not remember the gargoyles. Hold on, I got to catch up on
Was there a Goonies TV series?
Lisa says, drink, drink, drink.
A Goonies TV series, or what's the other one I'm thinking of? A Gremlins TV series.
Oh, thank you, Lisa.
Probably thinking Gremlins.
Lisa likes the ice bucket.
Oh, the classic.
Thank you.
Inspired the color in this room, the whole color scheme in this room.
Heart Beeps with Andy Kaufman and Bernadette Peters. I've never seen that.
That was where they played robots, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Which, probably a pretty typical Andy Kaufman type role. He would always do something like that.
Baron von Spankenstein says, The Devil's Platform and Horror in the Heights are my favorites. Horror in the Heights has Phil Silvers. I love that.
It's got the moments, I'm telling you. So, and speaking of which, so you're all set over there.
I know. So what's going to be... Oh, Peter says, I do believe it's Gremlins.
Gremlins TV series. That's what I was thinking. It's things I did not watch at the time. It seemed silly. And but it just sticks in your craw. Like, wait a minute, wasn't that on Fox or something? That kind of stuff.
What?
You want a refill there?
I'm topping myself.
I'm trying to sip of this item right here.
All right. I'll allow it.
Still good. Jill used to be scared by Johnny Quest.
Oh my
Johnny
gosh.
Quest was pretty intense for a kid show. Yeah.
Hand me that spray, please. So which one are you making?
All right. Well, I think I'm going to start with...
He also has 2 drinks prepared to make you.
I do. Okay.
Thank you.
What did they call this? It was the...
The Energy Eater?
Energy Eater. That's right. There we go.
Oh, so you need tequila.
Yes. I'm actually working in a similar vein to you because I was thinking in a similar vein to you, and I was thinking bourbon, but you know what? I'm going to switch it up and see where we
I called
end
it
up.
first.
Called it. Anyway, this handle, has no handle, so it's kind of hard to handle. We're going to start with 2 ounces of tequila. Reposado, please. We're still working the brown goods.
We will be for quite a while.
I think we've got a big bottle of tequila. Half ounce of hazelnut. I believe it's over there.
It is.
We'll wait patiently. Here we go.
There we go.
This is the Fratello
wow,
brand.
it is sticky.
Gee, I thought I cleaned that too. Well, you know what? No matter what happens, boom, boom. I'm gonna grab my
I
half.
don't think so.
Over here.
All right, I need more.
Don't think so, homeboy.
I need more cleaner now.
How about that? Come on. Getting
Sticky,
in there.
sticky.
So,
Okay.
the hazelnut.
So, catching up. Hi, Kelly. Good to see you.
Hello. Oh. Hey, this boy, that's sticking to me now. Huh.
Oh, okay. Gettysburg Ma'am says I love the Gremlins and Alf. Oh, yeah. I
Alf.
love Alf.
Oh, there's a fun one.
Oh, Munsters and Addams Family. Yes. Love.
Half ounce lemon juice.
Johnny Quest. Yeah, okay. All right.
Johnny Quest.
Yep.
Hands down, my favorite kids cartoon theme. That is just awesome. And I'm talking stuff like Scooby-Doo. Man, that's just great. Very cool.
Oh, I love it. Lisa, that sounds great.
Excellent. So, I'd like to see my drink again, please.
Okay.
Because I don't know what I'm doing. Here we go. Hazelnut,
I know what you're
lemon juice, 3 dashes of the black walnut bitters.
I know what you're doing.
Here it is.
That's why I clicked away.
I know what you're doing. I can click. Definitely. This has a very strong thing.
Oh, that's a lot more than 3 dashes.
Well, trying to get it to go. It doesn't seem to be like... it's like it's thick or something. Which it is not. Strange. Maybe it's more bitters than that. Boom.
Okay, you're done with this. You're done with Mr. Sticky.
Done with Mr. Sticky over here.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Sticky.
Oh, Friday the 13th, the series, was about a trio who inherited an antique store, discovered that all the items sold by their Uncle Louis was cursed by the... Oh my gosh. Cursed by the... Okay, each episode resolved around a cursed antique. I would love that.
That sounds like that antiques...
Oh, okay.
Store
Michael,
in that Twilight Zone episode.
We will be having a different classic tiki drink shortly.
Yeah. Oh, just you wait.
Yes. Don't worry.
Shave with ice.
Dean says, Johnny Quest, best TV theme song ever.
It is, I think, of all types of shows, it's absolutely in top 10.
Oh, Kelly,
there's a lot of things that I really do adore. When I think like cartoon shows, man, that just sends it. And cartoon shows usually have a very punchy theme.
Kelly, I'm sorry it's been that kind of day, but tequila's a good choice.
It's not a bad choice. Put it that way. Strain into a cocktail glass.
Oh. Gettysburg Ma'am says, I went shopping for Halloween candy today. The candy count and the serving got smaller and the prices got higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check the size of the little bars, too. Those undoubtedly shrank. This happens. I remember when they were pretty substantial.
All-time favorite cartoon was Speed Racer.
Speed!
Kids cartoon,
Speed had a great theme, too. I'm thinking of adding a cherry, but I want to see if this will go with this. Yep, that'll be fun. Yep. Something a little hot about this, which is kind of funny. Because there's no heat added.
Oh, yeah. I think it's the tequila playing with the bitters, maybe. With
the bitters? And,
yeah.
Well, you know, there's just that nutty edge from the hazelnut, which is playing with that, too. So, there we go.
Oh.
Just one moment, please.
He disappeared. Oh, he went to find out what the noise is. People talking outside.
Yep.
Oh, Paul Lynde Halloween Special. Hi, Bobby. Yes, Paul Lynde Halloween Special. We love. We've already watched it once this year.
It must.
Yes.
Some years ago, I remember remembering it because I'll date myself. I saw that on original broadcast. That was Halloween 1976. And you know, as a lad, I was not an old at the time. I was a youth. I remember watching this and being like, "What the hell?" But it was like all of these big names. Witchy Poo was on this. You know, you knew who that was at the time, and special guest Kiss. And this was the first time I'd seen Kiss on TV. Now they're just lip syncing. It's pretty cheesy. It's Croft.
You think
it's all Croft?
Oh,
but they got 3 songs. There's like it's a really big TV thing for a group that hadn't really hit huge yet.
Gettysburg Ma'am says, I always look forward to the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, yes. And Mom says, R.I.P. Angela Lansbury, yes.
Oh, speaking of murder.
We had just seen a show the night before.
Literally, one night before, where she was name-checked because one of her co-stars.
Yep.
Talking about working with her and what he learned from Ms. Lansbury.
Yep.
And
she sounds like she was amazing.
He learned good things. I mean, what was her quote? Was like, I'm not a singer or something? It was something along those lines, and I think...
I guess she was a soprano, and she had to learn to belt, was what I...
Something like this, because she is a singer. I mean, you hear her. You want to hear her, like, rip it up in a big starring role. There's Mame.
Bobby says, me too, I am also old.
I am also old. But there is also something called Dear World. And
sweetheart.
That featured the...
Oh, thank you, Bobby.
That featured the actor who we saw actually talking about that. Not a really big, successful show, which is too bad.
Oh, yeah, we're getting some votes for Paul Lynde on YouTube, too.
Of course. The special, I got to tell you, I remembered
Hi, Alan and Elizabeth.
Seeing it, and I remember years later, I'm thinking to myself,
You're not late, don't worry.
And I was trying to get a copy of it. It was impossible. It was long gone. No one taped it at the time. And I realized that you could access this at the Museum of, at the time, Broadcasting. Then TV Radio, and now currently the Paley Center. But really, this was the place to go. If you wanted to see things that were like, I remember that show and I don't see it anywhere. Yeah, you would go to Museum of Broadcasting. And I remember... Broadcasting. And I remember like calling this up and watching it. And I was like, holy crap. And I told her, you need to go to the museum and you need to see this. So she did. And this was well before it was available on video. So I was like, I remembered this being what it was, and it is. So
Michael says, my sister and I had arguments that bordered on physical violence every Saturday morning over which show to watch next. Oh, yeah, and he just ended up in his mom's bedroom.
I don't recall having any particular arguments over Saturday morning. We tended to watch the things that you should have watched. Whereas your primetime stuff, yeah, sometimes I disagreed. But,
Sweeney Todd. I wanted to get a Sweeney Todd in there. Yep.
Oh, please.
Yeah, Abra said.
Speaking of your shows, and speaking of your creepy, and that score, wow. Have you ever actually listened to that in the dark?
In the dark.
That'll make you jump a little bit. It's pretty serious. And it's very dark. And very dark. And apparently it was a really big hit at the time. It was 1979, I think, or 78 that it hit Broadway. Right around that period.
Was it that early?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, it's just right around that period. And pretty popular among what we would now call like a punk rock goth audience, I've heard. Now, that could be BS too, I don't know. But I could see it. I could just like the subject matter and the way it's presented and the music. Definitely.
Previews begin February 26th. Yes, it's coming back.
Broadway 1979. Hey, pretty good.
All right, yep. I had to just find out, but yep.
Based on the early 70s play. Yep. So
I'm conflicted.
Conflicts.
I'm conflicted. I mean, people... I've been in so many shows that have been done a million times, so I get that people do plays and musicals over and over and over again. Totally get. But at the same time, I'm like, so many people are writing great stuff, and I fear that they won't get to bring it to Broadway.
Because you got to do a war horse, and you got to have some huge star and blah,
Baron
blah.
von Schmeikenstein. What about the modern elephant in the room, Stranger Things? I still have to watch that. My hairdresser watches that. She tells me I will love it.
Yeah.
I still have to watch it.
She's recommended some doozies.
Yes.
Did she recommend Ratchet? Or did we recommend it to her?
I think we recommended it to her.
Oh, okay.
I did enjoy Ratchet.
Speaking of your creepy, that has some of the more disturbing things I've ever seen on television.
Oh, Peter says, I remember the commercials for Sweeney Todd being scary as hell.
Yeah. Makes you jump out of your seat.
Hi, laissez-faires. Good to see you.
Hey, it's Elias.
From Kolchak, Las Vegas. Yeah,
you don't say.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you, John.
Just down the street from where they filmed at the Sahara. Okay, John. Hi, John.
Well, I'm having an energy eater, and you're having a...
I'm having the Headless Biker.
The Headless Biker. Of course.
Cheers.
Cheers. Prosit to you. The Biker is very good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm enjoying mine as well. They're very similar drinks. I'm going to add some more bitters.
I'm trying not to guzzle it, but it's delicious.
It is not large. It is delicious and small.
Disappearing at an alarming rate.
Adding a couple more dashes of these things. There we go. These are very small bits. I'm getting
Hi, Kalaka boy. Good to see you.
Telling you. But these the black walnut bitters, the brothers just got these. I don't think we've had these before. So these are fun.
Yes. Yes. Kalaka Boy says, I recently saw both Kolchak TV movies, plus the one season. Yeah, it's a bizarre show that depicts an ordinary world with supernatural things happening. Exactly. I couldn't have put it better myself.
Perhaps. Baloney? Perhaps not.
Oh, okay. Great Food and Beverage says, we were big fans of Grimm on NBC. I never saw that either. See, this is why I asked.
We've got to find these things. It's easy to miss things. And these days, with more content than ever, it is far too easy to miss things. And you might see a show go for a couple of seasons and might even be pretty successful, and then it's gone, and then suddenly you're like, oh, wow, and you're watching this thing that's 5 years old.
Lisa says, I love seeing 60s, early 70s era Las Vegas. Yes.
Oh, the classics.
I have a poster, literally a poster of my grandmother standing in front of the wall of money at Binion's.
I think it's like the $1 Million wall.
Yeah, I feel like we should frame it.
$1,000 bills.
I think we did have it framed at one point, didn't we? I should frame it again.
Frame it again? That's what you need to do.
That would be great. She was wearing this really cool coat. Because it was like early 70s.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have the $1 million from your grandmother. But, oh well, easy come, easy go.
Oh, the Ghost and Mrs. Muir. Yes.
There you go. Used to watch that as a kid too. That was on.
Oh, thank you, Kalaka Boy.
That is who was the female lead in the TV series version of that?
Errol says, "Okay, Kelly, you were talking about the sticky counter. I just got in trouble for making ours sticky."
There you go.
It happens.
Watch out. Like that's why you have to have like the
it happens.
The spray bottle around. I don't know.
It's right here. Do you need it?
Yeah, I'll take it. As a matter of fact,
some of these bottles are sticky.
Some of these bottles are sticky. You know, which ones? The sticky ones.
I just went through recently and like cleaned all the bottles and cleaned everything off the bar cart, and that was gross.
Oh man,
that was just gross.
Grunjo. There was a point where you cleaned the front of the bar, which had a fair number of drips from various things, and that water was just gray.
I've heard of that. I've never seen it. Devil Dog Hound for Hell.
Oh, I have heard that one.
I think I would love it.
70s movie creep fests that are actually fairly dumb. There's, how about possessed vehicles?
Yes.
You've got Duel TV movie with Dennis Weaver, and then you've got The Car. Now, The Car is actually generally a possessed vehicle.
Yeah, Gettysburg Mem says, I wish they would bring back the variety shows. And I wish they would bring them back in that way, in the sense that, like, you could have all these different people on one show, like Margaret Hamilton and Kiss. You know, like, just...
That's okay.
Now they wouldn't do that. Now it would be, like, very...
uniform.
Tightly,
Tightly scripted and tight playlist and all that sort of thing. Oh, no, you're not going to put those two things together. A la, say, your Toast of the Town there. With Ed Sullivan.
I think Hollywood Palace.
Hollywood Palace, which was, of course,
I love Hollywood Palace. I would watch that at Paley Center.
I would watch either of these things. And since
I watched a bunch of those.
The producers of both of those shows, Sullivan actually insisted on keeping his masters. So those old videotapes are actually in good shape.
Killer tomatoes for dinner.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, we
But you know, he was a talent scout. He was just like finding stuff and it was like, it sounds good, put it on, you know. And it wouldn't matter. It was whatever entertainment was.
I remember seeing an episode. I used to have a membership when we lived closer, but I remember searching on Martin Denny one time, and I found him on an episode of Bob Newhart's show, not the TV series, not the Bob Newhart show,
from the early 70s.
Yeah, not that one.
And not Newhart from the 80s.
Yeah, like what was it called? The
early 60s, like after his comedy records were huge.
Like a variety show, really.
And that's so you actually get a drop-in slot from Martin Denny. Well, that's fun. You're thinking that he must have appeared on more TV than that, and certainly
I think they called it the Bob Newhart Show.
The Bob Newhart Show,
which is confusing
1961.
because they also called the one in the 70s the Bob Newhart Show. Yeah.
And then the other one was simply Newhart. Oh, more confusion.
Yeah.
But yeah, ran for looks like just under a year, as a matter of fact.
Crazy. But yeah, Martin Denny was on an episode.
Funny stuff. And who was the other one? There's another comedian who...
Oh my gosh, Abra says my grandmother was friends with Soupy Sales.
Oh, yeah.
I remember Soupy Sales.
Soupy, of course. Soupy had a couple of series.
Carol Burnett. Yes, there will never be another like her or that show.
That is potentially the pinnacle of that type of variety show.
Duel.
Because of the writers.
He's seen that.
And because of the ensemble cast. That is fairly unparalleled. It's pretty astonishing. Yeah, great writing. I believe one of the writers... you know what? I'm thinking of a different show.
I'm going to write this down. Next week, we're going to do The Blob. I don't think we've ever done it before.
Oh, time for Blob.
I think it's time for The Blob. I'm taking a note.
I was about to say one of the writers on Carol Burnett was, but you know what? I'm wrong. I'm thinking of this Mother's Brother show, another variety show. That was pretty hip for its time. One of the writers was Steve Martin.
Oh, Christine. So, yes, we bought Christine recently. Yep. Let's see.
Christine, a fairly goofy movie.
They did have a TV in the early 70s. Yeah. It was a good time to have a TV.
It was not bad. Ghost and Mrs. Muir TV series we were trying to get to, and I was thinking, who played the Mrs. Muir in that series? And she's in the best of everything.
Yeah, Hope Lang.
Hope Lang. Thank you. There you go.
Oh, okay. Getting my man says, yeah, okay, next week's going to be the Blob.
There you go.
And I know that I never make Jell-O shots, but we have to somehow involve
gelatin
in this.
We have gelatin molds and things.
Oh, the Blob Terrified Opera.
Oh,
I never saw it till I was an adult.
As a 5-year-old, yeah, it's a creepy
Peter
thing.
says, did Laugh-In ever have a Halloween show?
Not that I can recall.
Yeah, not that I've seen, but...
But we actually had access to all of them, and those look very good too, because George Schlatter actually maintained his masters, so a show that was actually edited on videotape could look a lot worse
we
than it
drank
does.
blood clots. Oh
boy. But we have to take a look through the whole thing. Maybe just take a look at IMDb and see what they say about the episodes around that.
Oh my gosh, Michael says, I remember seeing the movie Picture Mommy Dead back in the 60s with the neighborhood's kids singing The Worms Crawl In song for weeks
The worms crawl in and the worms crawl out.
So sensitive.
I remember some years ago looking for a song about worms, and
Svengoolie,
that's the song that occurred, but it was the wrong song. Svengoolie, there you go. Speaking of your horror hosts, home.
Oh, yes. Oh, okay. Lisa says, my 86-year-old mother came to stay with me for a few days. Wanted to watch Carol Burnett, and we watched on Pluto all day. That's where we watch it. Well,
binge Carol Burnett.
I love Svengoolie.
You could do so much worse. I'm not even going to tell you to do anything else. That's brilliant.
Oh, Baron von Swinkenstein says the Blob is available on Criterion Collection Blu-ray.
Oh.
Worth it. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
All right. We used to go to Blobfest every year.
We made 3 short pictures, which is where our
4
video career started.
4.
Let's see. 7, 8, 9. I think we just made the 3. We went there in 2010.
We did Blobport.
Blobport 2007.
I feel like, did we do 3?
Rosemary's Blobby.
2008. And then the Castaways.
2009.
We didn't do another one?
No.
All right, we did 3.
After 3 years, we were kind of fed up with their voting, and so we said, yeah, that's enough. It's a fun little fest, and it's free. At least it was at the time. Hi, Nitish. How you do?
Good to see you.
Likewise.
All right.
Glad you could come in.
From
Good
India.
grief.
Wow. Yeah, what time is it there?
It's got to be about 10 p.m. by now. Well, hello. I was actually corresponding with some folks in India today, as a matter of fact. One of our departments.
Hi, Gabriel. Good to see you.
Okay.
Oh, please talk about the movie we're working on. Oh, well, thank you for asking.
We can absolutely drop a few notes about that. So people have been asking about.
I just real quickly, I have to say, Getty's program says the Blob reminds me of my father's cooking when my mother worked late at night. Okay, so yes, we have a short film coming soonish.
Soonish.
Ellen Waits.
Ellen Waits is in better shape than it was the last time that we talked to you, because
it's an extremely
dark
comedy.
We took a look. We identified several points
I'm glad you're here
needed to give some attention. And last weekend I did a bunch of edits. So we were like, we're getting to the parts that we really want to tighten up.
Lisa, the blood clot, got it.
But then before we finally get to that,
Oh, it's 6 a.m.
Really finessing it. 6 a.m. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for being here.
Okay, so, which also depends on where you are in India, as a matter of fact. We, of course, are dealing with
they had the
coming up on 9 p.m. East Coast.
Okay.
Really. So.
It's basically about a woman waiting in line in a store. And the sort of...
The people she encounters there.
The people she encounters, I'll put it that way.
Shall we say.
She encounters some interesting types in line at
some
the
annoying
store.
types.
Yes.
The types that you would see in a discount store. Let's just put it that way. I think that there's something...
Well, I do like a discount store.
You like a discount store.
Yeah.
I believe within this crowd, this will be a little too familiar. And...
thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby.
I'm not saying anything. Oh, there we go. Boom.
Yes, yep.
So, Peter,
boo-in.
Check it in, the boo-in. And I'm not saying that as anything outside of, you will appreciate this a lot. So.
Oh, I haven't had the blueberry this year. We've bought it in prior years.
Yes, we have. It is on the shelves. We have absolutely seen it.
At Target.
I believe you've got the blueberry, the frankenberry, the chocula, and I think the fruit brute. has made another appearance. So
it just says my wife is working from home, ruining my sleep.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, good grief. Well, I guess you got us to watch.
Yay. Okay.
I guess you got us, and we're here to talk about.
Here we are.
We're talking monster movies, monstrous television, specifically Mr. Kolchak over here with his little tape recorder and camera, and a couple of drinks. I am having the Energy Eater. I keep forgetting. I'm thinking the Energy Vampire. No, the Energy Eater, which was this episode about this demon that was sucking the electricity out of everything.
I'm almost time for my next one.
And you have the Headless Biker.
The Headless Biker.
Yeah.
2 ounces of bourbon, a ½ ounce coffee orange syrup, a ½ ounce fresh lemon juice, and 5 dashes of black walnut bitters. And to make the coffee syrup, all you do is combine 3/4 of a cup hot coffee, 3/4 of a cup sugar, and the peel from 1 orange. And you stir it until the sugar dissolves and refrigerate for at least a few hours.
You put that peel on hot to let the flavors start to infuse.
Oh, yeah, Night Stalker. Love Night Stalker. Oh, okay. Oh, Gettysburg Ma'am says, okay, YouTube people, listen up. Gettysburg Ma'am says, I have a question for everyone. What was your favorite Halloween costume as a kid? Oh. When I would say my most memorable would be, there was a year when I was skating at the time. So I had a skating costume that was like a silver lame leotard that I went as a space person. But I had a helmet that my parents had bought, but it made noise and it had a flashing light. And it was heavy. I remember that too.
Big fun?
Oh, I should have had a few drinks yesterday. Good for you.
Get drunk if you can. That's a piece of advice from Mr. Red Fox. Speaking of such things. Favorite costume? I had a lot of good ones. I remember
Lisa says Casper. Lisa Westber says Casper.
I remember going as a Civil War soldier at one point, and actually somebody had a plastic sword I borrowed, and I had a fake mustache, and it was kind of fun. I think my grandmother made the mustache. Yeah, it was kind of great. But there was also a thing that I really worked on was one of the space suits from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're getting some good ones.
No, I didn't really have the resources to like mold plastic and everything, so it wasn't exactly that accurate, but I thought the movie was on television a lot.
Ira says, I would imagine a drink called the Energy Vampire would have Valium in it.
There you go.
I was kind of thinking that, actually.
Well, after one of these, you will not want to do any work. Let's put it that way.
All right, so we're getting... Okay, Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
50s gal. Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Well, the Ben Cooper costumes, of course.
Yep.
I have a creature from the Black Lagoon.
Housewife.
Which is the mask from the Ben Cooper costume. It even comes in a little box, like that the masks came in. Those were fun.
How about Reese Darby wearing Kolchak's pork pie hat and seersucker suit on the X-Files?
We have already mentioned X-Files. And of
course, I seen that?
Of course, Kolchak, major inspiration on X-Files.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I'm going to go look for it after this. All right. I'm almost. All right. I'm not sure how this next one's going to turn out, so we'll all find out together.
Let's see, eh?
But it's kind of a... I don't know if it's a special effects drink, but hopefully it will be special. Mm-hmm. Pardon me. Okay, I'm calling my next drink... Don't want to miss any comments.
Oh, no.
Oh, Baron von Frankenstein says I went as Dracula multiple years. I kind of feel like if you have a costume that works, use it again.
Use it again. Get more use out of it.
Oh, Elizabeth says when I got to junior high, I made my own costumes. Elvira and Cyndi Lauper. Oh, my God. I love it.
Oh, wow. Big fun.
Roger.
Elvira's a great costume.
Danger, Will Robinson. Oh,
Robot.
Okay.
Yeah, Robot, of course, was just Robot. That's a great costume. The spacesuit that I made looked a lot more like robot. People thought I was a robot, but I wasn't a robot.
All right, so okay, wait, and Errol says, speaking of Night Stalker, in the 70s, there was a guy that drove a hearse in Collinsville, Oklahoma.
Oh, it was Night Stalker. Oh wow!
Oh my God!
Big fun.
I love that.
Hot Rod and Hot Riddle. The Riddler.
Oh, Elizabeth says my first Halloween was Mickey Mouse. Aw. Hot Rodded. I know what you meant. Oh my gosh, Gabriel says I wouldn't drag it. My name was Marina Del Rey. I love it. Love it.
That's killer.
Hi, Daniel. Good to see you.
You realize, of course, there's an episode.
Oh, we went as the Joker. I love it.
Episode of The Love Boat with a character named Marina Del Rey, played by
Marion Ross.
And the character was a former Warhol person. And who's guest starring on the show also but Andy Warhol, an Entourage. Yep. And of course, there's a point where he has to recognize who she is and shows up at her suite. Yeah, it's hilarious.
That's when it's trick-or-treaters. Oh, wait. Bobby says, I went as a bed, a sheet, and a pillowcase for candy.
That's a good 5 seconds.
With Scooby-Doo, anything counts. It's all good. Oh yeah. Oh, you have to see it.
You got to see
it. It's
one of these.
It's something to behold.
One of these channels is showing The Love Boat. Check the schedule.
Yes. Okay.
Hulu or something like that, and you'll die. And I think it's 83 or 84. Check those seasons.
Making my next drink.
For what you're looking for.
Okay, my next drink is inspired by the episode The Trevi Collection, and it's called Grim Tawdry Death of a Fashion Spy.
I just gotta love titles like that.
Which is a quote from the episode.
Well, of course.
2 ounces of vodka, which I don't usually use, but,
it has its uses.
Yes, it
does.
I'm using Rhodium from Rhode Island.
Rhode Island Spirits. Yes. Excellent product, and they have a fantastic showroom where you can go. It's sort of their...
They do.
It's their little... it's like a sales room, and it's a bar. And you can just go and sample product and try a few drinks.
Raggedy and Andy, oh my God, I love it.
Jeez.
Oh.
No, that's too precious. It's gonna make you weep. I know. So.
Hold on. Hi, Johnny.
Hey. Speaking of my beeps, absolutely,
so
sir.
So many comments. All right. Yeah. Okay. So, thank you, Abra. Abra likes the drink name. Yes. Grim Tawdry Death of a Fashion Spy. So 2 ounces of vodka. And then I'm going to add to that a ½ ounce of Rocky's Botanical Liqueur.
Naturally, if we come up with these drinks, we need to come up with
3/4 of an ounce.
Something like 4 drink names per week. So we go through some drink names.
3/4 of an ounce of Rocky's Botanical Liqueur.
If you're not aware of this product, see if you can find it at your local. And if they don't have it, ask them about it. This is quite a good product. It's actually quite good on the rocks, but it's a good mixer. It will mix with virtually
That's the thing.
Anything.
They want you to know you can mix it with anything.
Yeah.
All right, so, and then 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lemon juice. All right, good.
Peter's wondering about favorite Scooby-Doo episodes. I
don't remember. I mean, I watched it, but...
Absolute favorite was the one where they got the perp.
Wait, there was a tiki one, though. We watched that not long ago.
They pull off the rubber mask, and the guy says, and I would have done it, too, except for these meddling kids. That's my favorite episode.
I got it. That vacuum really worked. Okay, so I will take a glass, please. Cocktail glass. Because I've got effects coming. I'm not done.
Special effects.
All right. I hope they're special.
I just got a little nibbling, and then I realized, wait, I've got some stuff back here.
Okay, so I'm going to put the extra in here.
Speaking of which.
Okay, so strain into a cocktail glass, and I'm going to take my cranberry bitters.
Oh, the cran. And
dash it so that it looks like blood in my drink.
Well, there's a certain number of deaths happened in this episode, and also some hideous cat's cries.
Teen says, the one where the villain was unmasked at the end.
There you That's what I was saying. My favorite episode is the one where the guy says, and I would have gotten away too, except for you meddling kids.
Ooh, yeah, look at that.
Look at that.
It's like,
it's like an aviation, but for red.
The blood is sinking to the bottom.
Well, I'm interested to try this one out.
Grim, tawdry death of a fashion
Grim,
spy.
grinning ghosts. Oh, wait, no, that's something else.
The one where Walnut comes out. Yes, yes. They finally, they're finally allowing that Velma is a lesbian. Finally, right? Anyway.
They wouldn't do that at the time.
Mm-mm.
Well, they wouldn't allow that, Shaggy is a stoner. He just looks like it, and he's always hungry.
You know, they were all just living their best lives.
That's just what the things that they were doing. Shaggy, of course, was...
Oh, Lisa says my favorite cartoon back in the day was Scooby-Doo.
There you go.
All right.
Please. Shaggy, of course, was voiced by Casey Kasem, who was a vegetarian at the time. And after about the first season, insisted that Shaggy never actually eat meat. So that's why you never see him doing that. Of course, he does seem to survive on an endless amount of dog treats, which is
Lisa,
a little weird.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Got some raggedy hands here. Oh.
Forever Night. Vampire Cop. Oh, wow.
Oh.
Do not remember that. That sounds like fun. I tell you, some of these
I gotta get
series,
busy.
These creepy series back in the time
busy.
usually had a hard time with it. It was tough to find an audience back then. This was like before cable was really completely soaked in, and before streaming, of course. And these days, you could have a series about like extremely unique things, and you get an audience.
Hold on, I gotta say. Oh, yellow polka dot. Oh wait, hold on. Yellow polka dot bikini skating costume. I vaguely remember that.
This is going completely pink.
Ah, salud!
It's going blood red. Profondo rosso.
Poppy says, I make my drinks like my mom makes fudge. Don't know what's in it, but it tastes good.
It tastes so good.
That's all that matters.
That's all you need.
The guy in the dive helmet was my favorite, Johnny says.
Big fun.
I was watching, not like real recently, but probably within the past 2 years, some Scooby-Doos. I don't remember why. Because they were like tiki ones.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Just, of course, like the Brady Bunch episode. I'm looking at a pillow over there with that theme. As a matter of fact.
Kate loved his Amazon wife. Yes. Yes.
He did
said Gene.
So many different voiceovers for things. His voice is just like... He's like Dawes Butler or something, as far as cartoons go. Totally amazing.
Forever Night. I always thought he looked like a young Benny Hill. Oh my gosh.
Fun. Big fun. The fun thing I'm thinking... No, I wasn't thinking about something about Casey Kasem, but I'm kind of spacing what I was thinking about. Oh well. It'll come back. There you go. Good thing is, like, if I'm still nibbling, I've got more things to eat back here. So, I'm empty.
Uh-oh.
Wait, there's more. Not anymore. Okay. Let's take care of that little problem there, shall we?
Tisk.
We had a request for some classics.
Oh,
we were thinking about some
Johnny,
classics.
right on cue.
And guess what? You just watched an episode of Kolchak.
Oh, Peter said that.
Featured
few
player.
Tiki episodes of Scooby-Doo. Okay.
Excellent. Gotcha. And you just watched the episode with the Haitian zombies, Haitian-style zombies. So, you know what?
It's called Zombie.
We thought about actually doing an actual zombie, and I said, oh, hell, let's go to town. It's Wednesday. I work from the remote office tomorrow. I can do something.
Let's go to town. No, I'll stay here, but I'll have some zombie.
Oh, what the hell.
Kenny's Red Ma'am says, I dressed up as Garfield once. The eye holes in the mask were too wide, and I kept tripping over curbs and bumping.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Dang it.
Oh, no. Oh, jeez.
One hates such things.
I feel like they should have made it kid size. You know what I mean?
Yeah, seriously. God, who's going to be wearing this? Okay.
Oh, yeah. He did do voice work to be respected, Lisa. Totally agree.
So anyway, this is not for the faint of heart. Now, you think zombie, and you're thinking, okay, so this is going to be one of those Don Beach zombies because that's the guy who created it. This was the restaurant that did it. And we don't actually have all of the ingredients for all those. And really, my favorite of those is just stupid complicated in a real Don Beach way. And I thought if I pre-prepared it, I would pour it on air and say, this is what's in it. Bang, 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 bang. It's all well documented via the Jeff Berry books. If you don't know Beach Bum by now, read up. Come on, you got to know the bum. He has spent
Keep up, people.
way too much of his life figuring out what was in all those drinks, and it's in his books. Go buy the books. You'll be enthralled. Everything that you want to know is there. And I thought, you know what? I could easily do one of those, or I could easily do 1934 zombie, blah, blah, blah. But by now, like, if you're hip to that job, you know what's in it. I don't need to tell you about that. But at the time, the zombie was one of 2 tropicals that got really famous. The other one, I believe, being the Fog Cutter by Trader Vic item.
That's a good one,
too. That was much more well-known at the time than the Mai Tai. Mai Tai actually took a long time to really take off.
I remember the Tigger. Yep, I remember that.
Oh, jeez.
Yep, I remember that.
Tigger and Pooh, that is adorable. Yeah.
Oh, Bobby says, the wife dressed up as Elvira once. I was abreast of this situation.
But of course.
Hold on.
As was she.
Hold on. Don't go away.
Ta-da!
I should just keep this handy.
There were Ben Cooper masks for Kiss. I don't doubt that for 1 minute. I'm sure I saw some kids in those at the time.
Ben Cooper Kiss costumes?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
All right, go take a look at the price of those currently on eBay. Oh, man. Big fun.
Oh, my gosh. Gettysburg Ma'am says there are still some radio stations that play his flashbacks. I believe that.
There's a satellite station.
Yeah.
One of my friends actually downloads the satellite. Oh, not downloads. He just listens via satellite on his little device to the countdowns. He just likes the countdowns.
Oh my gosh.
And the thing is, every time they play the early 70s countdowns, he's like, this was the worst era for music. I'm like, you're listening to this crappy music. That's all I got to say. I know, it was junk.
Michael says, when I was first married, my wife and I went as Little Red Riding Hood and Grandma. I was Grandma. We went 1 year to a party as I was the Titanic and he was the iceberg.
I believe we still have the Titanic, but I think the iceberg got water damaged. So to speak. No, it got water damaged. So we had to throw it away. Vancouver Kiss costumes. Yeah, I want to see. Somebody want to take a look at current pricing up on those auction sites? Kind of interested.
Wow.
For like a decent condition Ben Cooper. Even a junky condition Ben Cooper. I'm noting that because we've been selling some things up on our store on Discogs. Put a bunch of stuff up recently, and something sold immediately. And just today we were selling a metal record from the 80s. And, the condition on the jacket was not tops. It was like, I wouldn't try to sell this except they're selling. And but the record cleaned up really nicely, and whoever is going to get this is going to rock out. It's going to be great.
I hope so.
So that's sold. You told me that's sold. So we're going to send that out tomorrow.
Gettysburg Ma'am says my daughter's first Halloween costume was Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, Dorothy!
I remember when I toured in Wizard of Oz. I was the Wicked Witch of the West.
Of course.
But little girls would come as Dorothy. It was so cute. They would come to the show in costume. It was adorable.
Yeah, notice nobody ever came as the witch.
No, they really didn't.
They really didn't do that, did they? Anyway, so let's make something fun.
Okay.
Back in the day, there were all of these guys with their tropical bars. This is the 1930s. We're keeping very tight-lipped about it because that was like your trademark. So you didn't let on with what was in the drink, but if people loved it, they had to come to your place to get it. But then you'd go to some other bar and say, yeah, I like that thing from the Trader Vic's. I like that thing from Don Beach's.
From the Trader Vic's.
And you wanted that Don Beach drink, the one that became really famous at the time. You will see this in all of the period bar guides. All of them had it. One of them made the World's Fair in 1939, the Zombie. The Zombie was the famous tropical drink. It was tall, it was potent, and you were limited to 2 at the bar. Ooh, that's a gimmick. But if you look at what's in it, you probably don't want more than 2.
Yeah. That would lead to bad outcomes.
You'd be wise to self-limit on that one. I think one split between 2 people is a pretty good ratio, frankly. We do not often make these things. I definitely need to be in for the evening. I'm not doing anything else. But I am. So let's go to town. And I decided let's
just do it right here.
Oh, yeah, true. We'd have to drive.
I don't want to go to town.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stand right here and do this. So I decided to have some fun. Let's go for it. This was one of the big rivalries back in the day. Everyone had to have a zombie recipe. Some of them published it in a book. This is the one from the Trader Vic book. This is the second Trader Vic bar guide. Everybody
I don't feel good about
had to figure these things out. And you know what? Vic was better than most at coming up with something that was a pretty good facsimile. Supposedly, he may well have borrowed the whole flavor profile of the Mai Tai from Don Beach, but he did not borrow the Mai Tai, because there's a Don Beach Mai Tai that's nothing like a Mai Tai. And I think that's pretty well established by now. So let's go to town. What's in this thing? Bang?
Okay.
A lot of booze. We're starting with an ounce of Jamaican.
Hold on.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm assisting.
I got him. All right.
You don't have a lot of space over there with the bucket.
No, I don't.
What could go wrong?
2 ounces of light rum. I think it specifies Puerto Rican. I believe this is...
When we were in New York City on Monday,
I'm trying to think.
We went to RPM Underground. I don't know if you've heard about this place, but it's a record store.
That's a bar.
That has a bar in the basement. What could go wrong? And they also have, you can rent karaoke rooms. It's just like, it's a ton of fun.
The only thing that...
We didn't do karaoke, but it's a ton of fun.
I was about to say, the only thing that could go wrong is, and then I thought about karaoke. No, the only thing that could go wrong is your wallet when you have a few rounds and you're like, I'm going to buy all these records.
Johnny says, woohoo, get it. Okay. Peter says, Gene Simmons' costume from the 70s is going for $600. What?
The Ben Cooper costume for Gene. Good.
Oh my gosh.
Grief. Okay, this is just some people of a certain age might resemble my age.
Oh my gosh, Gettysburg Man, that's so
with way too much disposable income.
Her last costume, she was social media.
I was social media. Okay, next please.
Okay, so.
Okay, half ounce of 151 proof. This actually calls it Demerara. We happen to have the 151 Demerara that you want to use. This is the lemon heart. And so basically, I'm already at 3 ounces of 80 proof over here. I'm adding another half ounce of 151, which is easily the equivalent of another 1 ounce of standard 80 proof. There we go. Okay, I'll hand this back to you. Ounce of orange curacao.
Yep.
This is not a bad place to be with a zombie. I think that it definitely has those flavors to it. And, you know, Don Beach used to muck around with his drinks constantly. That's why there's about 3 or 4 zombies out there that are considered fairly authentic to Don Beach.
He's about to find out. I mean, I know he's made it before, but... Oh, Gettysburg Man. Oh, thank you. Love my TikTok. Cool? By the way, if you're on TikTok, let's follow each other. Velveteen Lounge.
Boom, 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 boom. And if you haven't checked out that TikTok video, that was originally something like 14 minutes, but you compressed it by speeding it up. So now it's more like 5, I think. It's really pretty brief.
Peter, it's on West 54th Street. It's called RPM Underground, and it opens at 1. So we went in there on a Monday afternoon, and there were
just took my lunch hour.
A couple of people in the record store part, but the bar is downstairs, and we went down, and there was nobody in the bar. It was great. It was awesome.
And all to ourselves.
Because Monday afternoon.
Their record selection is excellent. It's Manhattan pricing. It is Manhattan pricing, but if you dig around, you'll probably find something that you figure is actually a reasonable price for what you're interested in. So.
Oh. Thank you.
Thank you. So.
Wait.
No 151 in Cali. Wow. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Good grief.
Oh wait, okay, we gotta catch up. I'm behind now.
I gotta figure out what else is going into this thing. Ounce of lemon, ounce of orange.
All right.
Okay. Easy enough. I've got the lemon.
That's something about a zombie. It takes a minute to make it.
It does take a minute. And this isn't even one of those Don Beach zombies with 15 different ingredients with 15 different proportions, which is ridiculous.
Oh, Lisa says we always do karaoke at the Crimson Fish. Okay.
Crimson Fish.
Pistol shots ring out in the barroom night. They're Patty Valentine from the upper hall. Oh, you can't get 151 in Cali. What?
Son of a... If we were closer, we'd arrange a trade.
Oh my gosh. Errol says, we would have the grandkids overnight. Lisa would let them listen to 1920s, 30s scary radio. And she'd give them a lantern and tell them this scary story. I love that. I love it.
I'll take the orange juice, please.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. Oh, okay.
Well, fun things. And check out that TikTok video. That was a lot of fun. You can literally go from 57th Street all the way to 46th Street.
Oh, thank you, Gettysburg, ma'am.
Circa 7th Avenue in Manhattan with cut-throughs. You're not walking on the avenue at all. But... So you could literally go to 45th?
Yeah, but it would have put me out by Times Square.
Oh, through Bertelsmann.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You don't
I didn't want to do that.
You don't want to do that. We used to work in Bertelsmann, so we know that. It's that cut through used to lead you to the HMV store, which actually was very good.
No, it was the Virgin store.
Oh, it's a Virgin store. Yeah, it was one of the big.
It was.
Stores. Virgin.
I forget what it is now.
Like
I never go to Times Square. But
4 floors of video and CDs and stuff. It was huge. It was really a great store, and it's been gone a long time because of course that all died.
Yeah.
Was
it the?
I think you're right. I think it was Virgin.
It was Virgin, but I didn't know if it was HMV first.
Oh, man, it's been a long time. I bought a few things there in my day. They were really, really well stocked. Like you were looking for it, they probably had it. It was like Tower Records back in the day. And Tower.
Oh yeah, I loved that store, but
Tower. Wow, they were pretty awesome.
That was a half-ounce grenadine, by the way.
It was a real shame when they went out of all of those big stores because they had their finger on the pulse.
Oh, yes. Okay. Happy early birthday to Big Red, a.k.a. Rita. Yes, Rita Hayworth.
Hey,
birthday,
Red.
October 17th.
Where did the Pernod type product get?
Oh, it's right here.
I'll take some of that. And we take a dash of Pernod, too. One thing that Vic definitely got right about this drink is the note of Pernod and some of the orange notes.
It was huge. It might have.
It did. I remember actually having like a cup of tea there with some friends back in the day. I think you can get sandwiches and things. We just got like, something to drink and maybe somebody got a roll or something. Wasn't a big deal.
A roll.
A roll. So, I don't know.
I don't know. I guess I wasn't there.
Yeah.
But, yes.
There were some entertaining stories from that period. And
which we'll save for in person.
So this is Trader Vic doing a zombie. Now, of all people to imitate a zombie, I think Vic had an idea of what you might put into a drink with a lot of booze. This has basically the equivalent of 4 ounces of 80 proof stuff. So it's really 2 drinks in one compared to what we've been making for the rest of the evening. Here we go. Give this a shake.
What could go wrong?
You drink it.
Oh, you need a glass, don't you?
I have a glass.
Oh.
I'll be right back. Now, the thing with the zombie is that it does, like many of these drinks, call for a special glass. Let's tell you about it after I get it.
Oh. Oh, okay, Bob. Elizabeth on YouTube says, Rita, who me, Hayworth? Such a smile. Yay. Yes, she did have a beautiful smile. Yeah, she never did any horror films, but that's okay. She was too big of a star. I feel like the stars in some of the horror films back then tended to be more of a B-level star. And I don't mean anything bad by that. No, I just mean that like your A-listers weren't really making that much horror.
It was considered not a B-movie thing. Those were the horror pictures were A pictures. Yes. Frankenstein, Dracula, Universal, 1931. Those were A pictures.
Peaches records and tapes.
Peaches. Oh, I remember. I think I've heard of Peaches. I don't think I ever saw any Peaches labels. Although I was recently looking at a label for Free Being Records. Oh,
Lisa, I wish we could too. Lisa says, wish you guys could play the Monster Mash. I do too.
You know. But you could anytime now and sing along. So the zombie glass is, of course, a chimney. It's really just a Collins glass that's much thinner and taller.
Already.
And you can get, if you do not have access to this from your local purveyor of glassware, I say go to your local Chinese restaurant that will serve tropical drinks and see if they've got one of these with some dragons on it, because we have a couple of those that we got. They're tall and they're thin, and this is a zombie glass.
Thin.
Now, to do a zombie, you crush ice and you pack the glass. This is like really almost to the rim. It has to be a lot of ice.
Oh, yes. I love the original Little Shop of Horrors opera.
Oh.
So good.
Yeah. It's a killer. It's a killer. And it's a killer because it was made on a dare.
So I wish we could play music too.
Little Shop of Horrors was made on a dare. Basically, somebody dared Corman, who had just made, I believe, a bucket of blood in about 5 days. I bet you can't do that in half the time. So they did.
Oh, really?
So he wrote a script and they shot it in 2 days.
Don't bet against Roger Corman.
Don't do that.
It looks so innocent.
I don't quite have enough room for all of this.
Do you want to... Here, have a cherry.
Why not?
It's a tiki drink. You've got to garnish it.
Got to garnish.
All right.
Have a cherry.
Have a lemon.
Take a curl.
Oh,
throw that in there.
You need a straw.
You got any monkeys? I'll take some monkeys.
I've got a ghost.
Ooh, berry. We'll throw that guy in there.
I've got a straw.
That doesn't quite fit. This has been frozen, so it's sitting there.
Michael says I was just singing Bob Dylan's Hurricane for background music. Oh.
Take a sip, please. Woo! Wow. Okay, yeah, that's pretty high.
It's really good.
I'm gonna have to wait. The thing with the zombie is it's a really great drink, and you can taste it.
Yes,
with
with
booze.
Jack Nicholson. Yes.
I need to kind of chunk this up a little bit. I kept this frozen, and of course now it's totally frozen solid.
Yes, Epidemic Sound. I might have signed up for an account on there. I have to figure out how to do that live. That's okay. I cracked TikTok. I could probably crack Epidemic Sound too.
Chunk this up a little bit so it will melt a little bit down there, and it will actually. The thing with the zombie, I remember we saw a demo of this at a hotel in Boston, right on top of Fenway Park some years ago, and the guy pointed out, use a ton of ice. You want to pack that, and then when you're done, put more ice on top. It literally wants to be delivered. Oh yeah, you need some ice melt with this drink.
Rick Moranis, yes, getting a vote for the more contemporary one too. Yes.
Oh, the movie.
Oh yeah, more love for Angela Lansbury.
The movie of the musical. The musical, of course, was an off-Broadway classic back in the day.
Whatever Happened to Baby Jane?
Well,
we actually have a Whatever Happened to Baby Jane magnet on our refrigerator.
But of course. And what does it say? Oh.
Wait, what?
Ah, interesting. Yeah, well, that's good advice for, like, most anybody that you know. Don't believe everything that you read or hear. And these days, I would say half of what you read may be completely made up. Bear that in mind. Big fun.
Okay, sorry,
I'm thinking about we've literally got
three. I'm going to look into it.
Three or four little shops kicking around. You've got the original cheap motion picture, which is hilarious. It's a great script. And it's got this whole, towards the end, you've got the two cops investigating, which are total takeoffs of Dragnet. And it's really, really funny. And then, of course, you got a musical based on that, which itself was a huge hit, early 80s. And on
American International. We call it the studio that knew how.
Yeah. The studio that tried, the studio that could.
When we were shooting our film, we had a photo of Roger Corman handy. And
you need to have your patron saints.
Exactly. And anytime we're like, what are we going to do? It's like, what would Roger Corman do?
WWRCD. And that is a lesson for our lives. So
oh my gosh, my bangs are driving me crazy. So long they're in my eyes.
Here we go. Trying to chunk this up a little bit more to get maximum ice melt because you really want it with this drink. It's fun. You really want to have one of these.
Oh, Katie Seagal, love her. Love.
Oh, yeah. Peg.
The psycho ex-country music star. I would love to see that because I love her.
Well, of course she sings. She had a CD out.
Oh, Hollywood Babylon. We have it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever actually read it, but we have it.
Speaking of spurious information, you anger prints every rumor. So believe it all with a grain of salt. Some of this is just bull. But he pulls out all the stories of the dead celebs, and he does that. He did that at the time in a way
Everyone's
that people hadn't
favorite
quite done.
homicidal rodent.
So, yeah. Mm. Boy, and those are just dueling rodents because you get Ben and Willard. I'm just saying.
It's like, what was it? Epic rap battles?
Epic rap battles of
history. Yeah, you could do like Willard versus Ben.
Big fun. So speaking of, you could do a different platform. If you are actually like kind of bouncing between the comments here as we talk about them, you could easily hop onto the other platform and comment both places. That's perfectly fine because, of course, these are all free accounts. If you want to be on YouTube and Facebook simultaneously, go to town. We are because our audience is here and there. And we like to be able to be where people are. And we like to be able to actually give you a little entertainment on a Wednesday. So, hey.
By the way, I know we're going to send people away, but who wins, Ben or Willard? I don't know. We'll find out.
All
right. I know we're going to send people away, but hand me a towel, please.
Sure.
All right. You might know, not the, under the jack-o'-lantern.
Oh, the towels.
Okay, so you might have noticed I got rid of that big banner this evening. So instead, we'll just have a quick commercial for Velveteen Lounge Kitchen
product
merchandise. We have lovely bar towels for sale.
They come in this fantastic maroon color background.
I have magenta. He has teal.
I've got the teal. The teal probably looks very dark or black from here, but it is actually
when
teal.
you put it up against the black towel, it does not.
It definitely looks teal. It is the same design as the original black towel, if you happen to have one of those. But we did reproduce these in teal. Yeah, this is totally teal. And this in the magenta. These are great.
I'm going to drop the link, and then we don't have to talk about it again.
They're very plush because this side is polyester, so it will take a good print, and this side is cotton, so it will actually dry your glassware. Or if you just want to polish things.
Drop the link.
Perfect bar towel size.
So you know about it, and then we don't have to talk about it again, and I got rid of that big banner, by the way.
I know that some people were commenting it was covering things up.
Oh, Crispin Glover.
That's not a problem. If you would like to support the show, you can get a towel or 2 towels. You can get both colors for a deal. There is a deal to be had. So there you go.
All right, just dropping the link.
That's the commercial for the day. If you do not have the towels, they make great gifts.
Fun Ellen Waits merch. Yes, thank you.
Well, this is very true. There is Ellen Waits merch. That
will be collectible because our eventual poster will be a different photo. So the stuff that everyone bought will be collectible.
Hello. Going to have to come up with
merch. Johnny says me look good in a tiki bar. Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you. Aww. There's somebody who knows. I'm just telling you.
Oh, this is hilarious. Oh, Peter says, is Hollywood Babylon still in print? Probably. I don't know. Like maybe with new people, though, because I feel like the people in that one would be out of date.
I gotta wonder if he did revise the book once. It was originally published in around 1965 in France, and then it was published around 1975 in the States. And that's the version that people know very well. And that's the one that's got all the, the scandalous pictures and et cetera, et cetera. And I think there was one that was revised from the original French, and then there was one revision after that. But that's, by now, we're 40 years on from then. Yeah, so I feel who knows what's happening with Babylon.
I feel like maybe it's TMZ now.
Yeah.
I feel like Hollywood Babylon now would just be TMZ. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is so funny. Bobby says, it's Carrie Trank. 2 parts. What the hell was that? 1 part. Are you kidding me? 1 part. Holy beep! Shake the hell out of it. Pour in a joint.
It sounds like an Alaskan polar bear chaser.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Heater.
Oh, yeah.
Alaskan polar bear
heater. That's right.
Paul, we need a remake of your...
This hat actually is a remake. Because the original hat, which was
wasn't Sandra Locke and Willard?
Maybe.
Yes. Yeah, I think you're right.
Mm-hmm. You may be right.
Oh, a hat.
Big fun.
Oh, Phil, it made me moderate your comment, but I allowed it.
Allowed.
About Sandra. Mm-hmm. I wasn't there. I don't know.
We're talking about like the hat as merchandise. Well, I guess you could get all of these pins, lapel pins, and recreate the hat. That'd be interesting.
No, I feel like people should add their own pins.
Well, they should. They really should. If you really want an exact replica of the hat, it could be done. It probably wouldn't be cheap. The hat itself is not. This is a real hat. This is a Bajali. It's an excellent thing. It's a replacement hat for my original straw pork pie, which is actually about my
Peter's
third pork
recommending
pie.
the Glendora wine glasses.
Oh, yeah. 100% better.
Anyway.
Wow. Hey, you can buy some cheap plonk and it'll taste really great. I'm telling you.
Or better, anyway.
Dude. The Glendora wine glasses are available. We do have these in quantity. If you're interested, let us know. These are best bought in pairs, I think, because who wants to drink alone? There is a deal on 2 glasses. And I'm thinking about... Yes?
I'm just looking at other episodes of...
I got refills. This is a really slippery glass because of all the ice.
Kolchak. And who could forget the youth killer? Kolchak discovers a very attractive woman, Kathy Lee Crosby.
That's right.
Who maintains her youth and beauty by sacrificing young men and women to ancient Greek gods.
Oh, boy.
I like the trashy ones like that. I really do. Like, the ones that are actually, like, kind of classy, I'm like, I love them. I love them all, but the trashy ones like that. Yes, please.
Trash.
Yes, please.
And wasn't Kathy Lee Crosby the original television Wonder Woman, speaking of ancient Greek gods? There we go.
Not Linda Carter?
No. But Kathy Lee was either not available or was not chosen for the eventual series.
Oh, I think I've seen a clip of that.
Yeah. It was a TV movie.
Yes.
And then eventually somebody got the idea to make it into a whole series. Much like Kolchak, originally a pair of TV movies. And then let's make it a TV series.
Johnny says, even Malort tastes delicious in a Glendora wine glass. Oh, Johnny. Thank you.
Oh, Johnny.
Johnny.
Johnny, I'm going to have to go ahead and disagree with you there. Malort will always taste like Malort.
Thank you, Errol.
But I will say that I really appreciate the idea that Glendora could improve the taste of Malort. Malort, of course, is a biker bar dare. That's what it is.
And Bill says, I met Brooke Shields in Santa Cruz during the filming of Tilt, not quite a monster film.
Oh, yeah. I recall that picture at the time. A pinball picture.
Picture.
You know, 1 year ago, we were in a pinball picture.
I know.
As background. You got hired on, and then your casting person is like, is your husband available? Suddenly, I was an actor. Good grief. Background. I gotta read lines.
This up.
This should be released shortly. It was supposed to be available as of October. Here we are.
I'm looking it up. Hold on.
So let's take a look and see if it is, because if it's on a streaming thing, I want to see this. Pinball: The Man Who Saved the Game. The story of Roger Sharp. And starring Mike Feist. Is that how you pronounce that?
I don't know.
I think so, yeah. You've probably seen Mike Feist in a few things. He's actually got a lot going on these days.
I feel like it was supposed to be released sometime around now.
Like right now. I remember we actually
It has a review.
Into one of the actors. One of the other background actors on that. And he was like, oh yeah, this could be like coming out in October. Oh, cool. And that was back in August. So.
Okay, hold on. I gotta go to IMDb Pro for this. Released October 8th.
Hello! It's ready to go.
Where was it released?
Where is it? Where is it? We gotta tell people.
Can we watch this film?
I know. We had a really good time on this picture, and you can see both of us in this. We're not really featured or anything.
Can we watch this movie?
Watch carefully.
All right.
But it was a really good shoot, I thought. It was well done.
It says released October 8th.
The whole concept is crazy. Back in the 70s, pinball was still illegal.
Here's what you do
in New York.
In this situation.
And certainly in New York City. So, you wanted to go down and, play the silver ball. That didn't happen at the time. It had been made illegal in the mid to late 40s. It was a big initiative of the Fiorello administration. And it lasted. It was considered a gambling device. Well, one enthusiast of the game decided that it's not a gambling device and decided to try to prove it.
Okay, well, my surefire bet just conked out on me.
Oh, sorry.
Usually if you go to justwatch.com, it will tell you where you can see something, but nope, not that one.
Oh,
Oh, okay, she was the original Wonder Woman. All right.
Yep. That's what I thought.
I love it.
I remember...
I grew up with Linda Carter. I'm just saying.
Well, there was a TV movie and then there was a series, and there are different beasts.
Oh, Tropical Thunder, Lisa. I've heard of that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a movie called Tropical Thunder.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Hello.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. Loves the Glendora glasses. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, well, of course, you have a pair of those for wine and other purposes. They're good for the great thing about these is that
Peter.
it's that sort of squared off wine glass. This will fit a full Mai Tai. Put a lot of ice in there,
Peter
but it will.
says, I know who Glendora's pinball boyfriend was. Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
There might need to be a sequel, Peter.
There might be a part 2.
You got to let us know your availability.
You never know what's happening.
You never know.
We are available for shooting purposes many places, after all. We'll show up with camera. We had a much better camera in July.
Gotta make your ghost face forward.
Yeah, I'm trying. It keeps getting blocked by stuck ice. There we go.
No.
And a much better camera in July when we were shooting because it wasn't our camera. Our DP came with a red camera. That's a brand. Wow. That is a nice machine.
Michael, yes. Michael says, I remember a Night Stalker where Kolchak told his boss he owed him $10 for a bottle of J&B Scotch he used to bribe a morgue attendant. Yes. Yes.
$10 for a bottle of J&B.
Yep.
That's pretty nice stuff. You remember when you would take a look at the
oh my gosh,
the back pages of Playboy, and they were around Christmas, and it was all ads for J&B.
Yes.
And it was J&B Jingle Bells. You know, it came in a gift wrap box. Oh, I love that idea. I'd like to receive a bottle of that for Christmas. That's a great gift.
Errol says, we had a pinball at the Tasty Freeze in 1974. My dad would let us play while we waited on our hamburgers and fries and shakes. Good days, yes.
Oh, boy.
We have Rock Fantasy in our town, which is
Speaking
just
of pinball,
amazing store. But then the whole back of it is just pinball machines.
Truly astonishing.
And they opened a pinball machine room in the bowling alley.
At the bowling alley, which is maybe a quarter mile from the pinball
I feel like our town is going to become a pinball destination.
Well, things are happening because the man who owns Rock Fantasy, of course, is obsessed. He has a huge collection of machines. So it's kind of like, what does he want to put on the floor? Oh. And he's got records. And he has, shall we say, paraphernalia. That's all I'm doing with that. But, yeah, it's legal in New York. So
Lisa says, my man plays the FBI agent that caught the criminal. And I was an FBI agent as well. Oh, my God, I love it.
Excellent.
Love it.
She's FBI agents. It's like the X-Files all over again. There we go. Yeah. Boy, so this thing, I'm making my way down this thing relatively slowly.
I was going to say, don't rush.
Yeah, there's no reason to rush with this thing. And still I'm like, yeah, this thing will knock you for a loop. This is no joke.
Bill never got into pinball. I love playing, but I'm not great at it. So
even considering the Who, I'm just saying, when I was young, there was a local amusement park in northern Rhode Island. It was actually right on the water,
Rocky Point,
right on the bay, called Rocky Point, and they had a pinball arcade with some really older machines. They were all electromechanical machines, and I have another story about that. And I remember playing the Pinball Wizard game and doing relatively well, but I'm no whiz at pinball. So, yeah.
Gettysburg Ma'am says, our local bowling alley is super retro. Makes me want to wear a pink lady's jacket.
Seriously.
Yes.
Yo, anyway.
You guys are so redoubtable. No.
We try. Thank you, Bobby.
Oh.
Big fun. I recall the other pinball story was that when I was working, I did an extra day in the
There's another
film.
pinball story.
Pinball story, yeah.
The film, yeah.
Yeah, the film.
Okay.
They called me back to play a 40s cop, and they fit me in this like uniform with a long jacket, long wool jacket, And this was like, this was shooting in, geez, a year ago, like early November. It was actually pretty hot out. And I was like, wow, that's going to kill. And when I went for the day in Poughkeepsie, as a matter of fact, I show up and they're like, you're actually playing a 70s cop. I was like, okay. Well, they had my size and they actually fit me in a uniform. And there I was in that New York light blue shirt with the jacket. And they actually gave me the leather jacket and the utility belt and everything. This was all really heavy and I hadn't even put anything into it. Amazing. Aww. But the funny part was that what we were supposed to be doing, I had like a fellow cop with me, and we were taking a pinball machine out of the store. And the whole deal is that somebody had a lot of fun with this. They hired an actor who was about 6'2", so he's up here on me. So we're basically talking like Tootie and Gunther here, you know? And we were just struggling with this machine that we were taking out of the store, and we drop it. So that's the big secret you can see with there. But you can watch the scene, and you'll see those two cops, and one of them is me. Pinball, the man who saved the game.
Oh, good night, Kitties Brook Ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Aww.
That's too much.
Yes, see you next Wednesday for the Blob. Next Wednesday will be the Blob.
Blob can happen. Blob will happen. Blob is fun.
Oh, wait.
Blob is a favorite.
Hold on. Starship Records and Tapes. Okay.
Tulsa.
Had paraphernalia. Wasn't exactly sure how it was used, but knew I shouldn't be buying it.
When I was young, the closest I came to that was a little store called Spencer Gifts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, that store was hilarious. Because they had all this stuff that was sort of like verging on drug paraphernalia. And it wasn't, but it was pretty close.
But it was verging.
I think it was like all the black light posters and incense was, you put that on and then throw on a copy of like Surrealistic Pillow by the Jefferson Airplane. You're like, whoa, man, big deal. The store still looked like that well into the 80s. Some aspects of it now in the mall still look like that.
Oh, yeah.
Hilarious.
No, Spencer Gifts has really not changed.
It kind of like, they still have the blacklight stuff. They still have like the gag gifts. It's kind of hilarious. It's gotten a little raunchier, but it's still hilarious. Gag gifts
just sounds like something else, but whatever.
Yeah.
Our optometrist is in the mall across from Spencer Gifts.
So every time you go.
So at least once a year when I go to get my contacts, I'm like, I'll go into Spencer Gifts. And it really hasn't changed. I mean, certain updates, but it's darn similar to the Spencer Gifts I grew up with.
The Spencer Gifts of your what? I remember as a Ute, the mall was noted for 3 stores. Outside of the big mall stores like Sears, JCPenney's, those big anchor stores. Those were fun for what they did. And they all had record departments. Oh, yeah. I remember the record department. Anybody want to, I sound so old. I remember Sears had, a wall with 45s hanging on it. Anybody want to just grab the time machine? Sherman, set the Wayback Machine. And just hit, Sears record department circa 1982 or something. That would be kind of fun. Peter, Sears, JCPenney, 1977. That'd be pretty hilarious. What can I get on 8-track tape? These are the things of which. But I remember the stores that the Blob loves malls in the craw. Yeah, exactly. The stores that stick in the craw were Spencer Gifts. Oh yeah, because of the black light background. Yep. Albert just said, as a kid, I used to be so fascinated by the black light posters and the Spencers. Seriously. Yep. Do you remember a joint called Tech Hi-Fi? That was, I think, a regional chain, East Coast, probably strictly Northeast. I don't know it. It was a joint where you went to buy a Marantz amplifier and a pair of AR speakers. No, a pair of Advent speakers. Michael, it made me moderate your comment, but I think you're right. There we go with the edible panties. They do probably stock edible panties. We still haven't actually come up with the edible panties drink, but I know what's going in it, but yeah, I just haven't You've got the clip.
I haven't gotten it together yet, but
we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yes.
So Tech Hi-Fi was the joint. I never set foot in this place as a kid, but literally there was a ramp leading up to it, and it was like gold, like silver foil wallpaper and round windows, and it was always blasting music coming out of there. You know that somebody was demoing Deep Purple on the Advents. Hilarious. Frankly, they probably sold pretty good stuff.
Oh, Bobby. Redoubtable, arousing fear or awe, worthy of respect or honor, commanding respect, formidable, fearsome.
Be still my heart.
Awesome. I love to think that way. But
we try.
We try.
The third mall place that I recall very well.
I don't remember.
Of course, was a food.
Radio Shack has been shacked. He loved him some Radio Shack.
More on that in a minute. The third mall place that I recall, besides Radio Shack, which of course was there, Radio Shack was everywhere at the time. The third place was, of course, York Steakhouse.
That is so East Coast.
I
never knew that.
Pretty regional joint. It was medieval themed, cheap ass steak joint. It was a place to go get steak tips.
Edible panties alert.
And you would stand on line because people were lined up around the block for this thing. And the line had time. It would tell you you're 45 minutes from your York steak.
Okay, I got to break in. Lisa says, I had to explain what Starship and records and tapes was to Errol. It's a head shop. I would go in and get records. But first, you go through the head shop. Oh, it's still like that.
Because apparently stoners listen to a lot of records.
Passion fruit. We got so many good comments tonight. Cinderella City in Denver.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yep. I am actually... Oh, show it.
I'm just like, look, I'm showing all the comments. I keep getting all these comments that I have to moderate. Anything that says edible panties, I have to moderate.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
That's the thing. So, Bill...
the food pyramid.
Bill, you were in jail for a second, but we'll let you out because... What the hell? You're just commenting.
Oh, so hilarious.
So true.
Although Facebook isn't making me moderate anything. Just FYI.
Funny stuff. So,
he's a paralegal too, Bobby.
Actually, during the daytime, I do go to a law office and we take care of documents. It's all corporate governance stuff. I can say that
don't sound sad.
Contradiction. Well, no, it's just
you sound like it's corporate.
It's corporate governance. It's back office stuff. We're not winning any big legal cases in this department, but we make sure that business happens.
Well,
it's absolutely true.
Keeping the world safe for business, I guess.
Keeping the world safe for or from capitalism, you take your pick. So the thing about these stores that I'm talking about is that you would probably visit Tech Hi-Fi and buy a tape deck, and it's called TIAC, and then you would go over to Spencer and buy some gag gifts in a York Steakhouse and get dinner. And it was like, what were you going to get? You were going to get I don't think anybody...
It's like a full day.
Yeah, it was. Nobody actually used the term New York Strip at the time, and I wouldn't know what that was. People used the term like T-bone.
It meant something else back then.
In the 1970s, it meant something very different. Times Square. Oh, I was just there today.
Oh, Lisa says, I'm ordained, if that's any consolation.
Oh.
I am too, but I've never performed a wedding.
Well, I happen to be a notary for the state of New York, so if anybody needs a ceremony performed... Lisa can officiate, but you need to go up to New York for me to notarize.
Can you marry people?
No. Absolutely not.
I've never seen you try.
You need an officiant for that. No. I have no legal capacity outside of I can certify your document.
Wagnalls.
Big fun.
Oh, Peter says, at the mall, I remember listening booth. Do you remember that?
No.
I don't either.
Never had that.
This must be, no, I grew up in California.
We had
must have been different things.
We had strawberries.
At Del Amo Mall.
New England had strawberries. That was not a great record store. But you could get, if you wanted a copy of the Loverboy tape, you can get it there. What? Yeah.
No, Facebook doesn't monitor this, Bill, obviously, because I haven't had to monitor a thing tonight.
No, it's just the YouTube. Hilarious.
Oh, torn down. Wait, what was torn down? Oh, Cinderella City. Oh.
Oh, well.
What?
It's terrible to hear that some favorites are gone.
Don't tell me Casa Bonita is gone. Oh.
We try.
I'm thinking of Mi Casa.
I will say that some of the classic New York City record stores are still there, but a lot of them are gone. Gotta tell you.
Well, there's RPM Underground, which is not old, it's new, but it has a bar in the basement.
That's probably better than most of the joints I used to hang out with for records, I gotta tell you. Sounds is long gone. That's a real shame. Of all of them, that's a real shame. Footlight, well, it died to death, and that's... It's too bad. That was a great collection of what they specialized in. It was truly astonishing.
Bill says, my wife and I have performed thousands of weddings. Okay. I'm ordained, but I haven't performed any weddings.
Well, there we go.
Have you performed an exorcism? I have not. But, it's the first time for everything.
Wouldn't that be the Catholic Church? I'm just saying. If you're talking exorcisms and inquisitions and such things, I think you need a very specific church for those things.
Lisa says, our Casa Bonita here in Tulsa was torn down just this week.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know what that is. And I'm like, oh.
Oh, jeez. We were talking about the Radio
Shack. Contempo Fashions. Oh, and see, there's C's in New York City now. C's Candies in New York City. It's near our dentist, ironically enough.
If you know our dentist, not so ironic. Yeah. Hilarious. So, the other mention of mall stores, which everybody had, and everybody had just on the corner in the downtown, was Radio Shack. That was the big chain for electronics in the country outside of Lafayette. Lafayette is going to take you back 40 years easily. But Radio Shack is much more recent, and I got to tell you, back when I decided to start doing electronics, this was the only joint in town that would do it. So I had a mail order. And mail order, you had to figure out what you wanted and figure out the shipping and the tax and all that and come up with an order. It was their old pain. Radio Shack, you just went in and bought some parts. And you could actually buy a manual that would tell you how to build a power supply, blah, blah, blah. They were very good for that.
Ordination allows exorcism. Okay.
Oh, it does?
I'll hang out my shingle.
All right, I stand corrected. I thought it was strictly the Catholic Church. But,
oh my gosh.
Apparently it's spread around these days.
Contempo Fashions. I remember Contempo Fashions.
Hilarious.
Blob loves malls.
By the way, just a reminder.
Yeah.
We've been talking about Kolchak. Kolchak spent...
Peter Miss Radio Shack.
Oh, man. Well, the Shack was great if you needed a battery for anything. You're like, oh, it's this weird phone that I got in Germany. They could find it. Oh, it's like my cell phone. They could find it. Oh, there's this thing that I need in my flashlight. They could find it. They had all of that. And it might cost a little more, but they got you everything you needed in batteries. It was astonishing. And if you were like, well, I build computer stuff, they had the parts. If I build electronics, they had the parts. I just need a PA for my church. They had the parts. They were ready to go. And it's a real shame that that sort of thing has disappeared from, not only urban areas, but suburbia.
I think a lot of it has gone online, which, I like that by being online, it's available to everybody, but there is something lost when you can't just go drive down and buy something. But, whatever. It is what it is.
It's one thing when you're making a big purchase because you can do that many, many places.
Yes.
But if you need one part.
But I like that everyone can get it then. When places go online, it's like, well, you don't have to be in New York or whatever to get it. So
the whole being
great.
The whole being in New York, Boston, Chicago to get it. That's something that's lost. And certain elements of that still exist. But
my brother was a Radio Shack manager. He says he's turning into a plob. Oh my gosh. Talk about crossing multiple weeks at the Velveteen Lounge.
We try what we try.
Oh, Italian Swiss colony wine. I just think of Greece, which is Italian Swiss colony. It's imported.
You know, both the Italians and Swiss make wines. You're not going to find too many Swiss wines around these parts.
Bobby
says, pretty good.
I performed a lot of exorcisms. I have 6 kids. Oh my. Okay,
oh,
Peter says Radio Shack has a website. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Have you ordered anything from it?
No, I've taken a look at the website. They still have a lot of parts available.
Oh my gosh, Dean says, I remember the free battery of the month punch card from
That's
Radio
right.
Shack.
That's right.
Did you have that?
I did at one point. And if you went in every month, you get a 9-volt battery for your little scanner that would get the police signals, stuff like that.
Oh,
you know, it's hilarious.
Talk about Kolchak.
Yeah.
To bring it around to Kolchak.
Monitor the police channel.
Yep.
That kind of thing. And you could go to the shack and buy a kit, and you could build something that would monitor the police scanner.
Baron von Frankenstein says, I would kill to be able to just walk into B&H Photo and Video in New York. We can.
You know, every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, times. I have to truck into the big city.
Good times.
And that leads me to Pennsylvania Station, New York. Penn Station is not what it used to be, but it hasn't been what it used to be for, what, 60 years?
You sound like Kolchak, by the way. I'm just saying.
Penn Station is not what it used to be, but it hasn't been that way for a long time, so don't worry about it.
I'm just saying, you sound like Kolchak.
I kind of did for
We're
a
all
second.
turning into blobs, Lisa says.
But very near Penn Station and the big post office there is B&H Photo. B&H is fairly astonishing. It's not a huge footprint, ultimately. It's not that gargantuan a store, but you walk in there and it's just crammed with all these departments and things. Yeah. And you buy something and they write it up and they go, here, okay, great. And they send it on a conveyor belt that goes over to the cashier. You take your receipt and you buy it.
Colony.
You know?
Was direct competition for Hickory Farms, where I had my seasonal job. Yes. Summer sausage for Christmas. Oh, yeah, I remember summer sausage for Christmas.
And both of these places had jams, which kind of makes them a direct competitor to Knott's Berry Farm, when I think about it. That's hilarious.
Although, did you have that here, or did you only learn about that later?
I knew about Knott's Berry Farm.
Did you? Yeah. Okay.
Probably mail order. B&H Photo.
Oh, there's B&H Photo in San Francisco. Okay.
In New York City, there used to be a lot of camera stores. Back in the day, there was a great joint near Penn Station called Willoughby's that had a fantastic neon
Lisa
sign.
says, I want to sell summer sausage at Penn Station. You would sell out.
I think that people would go nuts for that kind of thing. Currently in the big city, you have B&H and Autorama, which are duking it out. Back in the day, you also had something called J&R Music World.
Oh, yeah.
Long gone.
That was downtown, though.
Yeah, that was on Park Row. That was right near City Hall.
Nothing like heading to the local mall in midwinter to hit up the 33 flavor ice cream.
Oh, yeah. Big fun.
Oh, my God.
I will say that certain things disappear, and it's a real shame. Competition disappears, and that's not positive. And the fact is that there's still a couple of places competing for your business for mail order that are located in New York, and they're competing with the big boys like the Amazons.
Oh, like Adorama and B&H.
Yeah. Yep. And they're pretty competitive. They're very close in price, and they really want your business.
Yep. And
they will stock. So it's well worth doing that. Back in the day, they would also carry audio. That was J&R. You wanted to, my tape deck died. You went to J&R. They would outfit you. It was really great.
Extra honey mustard for you, Elizabeth says.
Hello. Oh. So I rue the fact that part of that is lost, but you can also go get your audio cables by just going to a certain online purveyor and pressing Prime, and away it goes. Easy. 2 days, you got it. Well, that might actually be better than what that was.
But
it's what it is.
I just remember, I don't know. I'm not going to say it. Never mind. Whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
Life. Yeah, life.
Whatever. I see both sides. Put it that way.
The simple fact is, we've been talking about Kolchak for 2 hours.
Yes. Well, more or
and
less.
he actually spent his whole career on television doing audio and visual because he was always taking pictures and recording on his little tape deck. Now that's kind of fun. He had to get the things to show to, I'm looking at Simon Oakland right now. Vincenzo.
Tony Vincenzo.
Kolchak! Carl, you've been working my ulcer here for the past 2 hours talking about vampires. There are no such things, Carl.
Well, he was always reacting to the police, whoever the captain was at the time who was harassing him, which they went through a number of captains, but
only
he was
one
always
Kolchak.
reacting. Like, I feel like Tony Vincenzo was always reacting. Like, he wasn't necessarily against Kolchak. It was just more like he was responding to whoever was in his ear at that moment.
People were probably really on his posterior with such things.
His posterior.
And I think about the fact that at the time, your average news writer, even your average news director, if you wanted to go out and grab a little lunch in Chicago, you could probably get a Chicago dog, or
he was eating a hot dog on an episode. Yeah,
or the famous Chicago beef sandwich. This is a big belly bomber, not good for your ulcer. I'm just saying.
Oh.
Great sandwich, but still.
Oh, Kolchak Boy says, I wonder why they didn't make a season 2. I don't know. I feel like it was popular, so they ran out of monsters or it became repetitive. What was it up against? Do you know?
We would really have to take a look at the schedule at the time and what network it was on and where the network put it. And I made an analogy earlier in the evening to Star Trek, the original series. In the 60s, NBC had no idea what to do with Star Trek. They put it 3 or 4 different time slots. It could never find its audience at the time, and it died the death.
Oh, wait, no.
But it was extremely compelling.
That's a video.
So it survived. And Kolchak, I feel, probably suffered a similar fate. It was a niche show, and I bet its network didn't really know where to put it. It probably put it really late, like a 10 o'clock slot on a Thursday or something weird. So it probably had trouble finding its audience, and it only ran for 20 episodes. Which means that I think they produced the company produced like the obligatory 13 episodes. They got to go ahead and produced another round, and then that was it.
This is from the internet, so take it for what it's worth. But someone says, my understanding is that ABC execs decided the show was too scary and forced the producers and writers to tone it down. It became a horror show without the horror show. Really a shame.
Well, a horror show without the horror show is just a comedy.
I don't know, but that's one person's opinion.
Which is a big nothing for horror, but yeah.
Oh, Peter, yes, you have a swingy evening too. Oh, are you craving toast and butter?
Maybe.
I could be. Or popcorn.
Oh.
The Night Stalker Companion. Oh, okay. All right.
Well,
Battle of the Network stats. There was a channel that was showing Battle of the Network stars, by the way, and man, you talk about good times. Yeah. I am surprised, Kolchak Boy, I'm surprised too that Tim Burton hasn't made a remake because that's just right up his alley.
I'm just saying. That's what they do.
We need cheese and horror. Yes. Now I'm with you, Lisa. We do need cheese and horror.
No.
Next week's going to be
horror and cheese. Actually, go together. I'm just saying.
A blob.
Oh, it's So, folks,
are you signaling me to
I wasn't, but it is just about that time to tell you all that it's been such a fantastic time to see you all.
Thank you for joining
with us together. We've been all the way from Kolchak
what have we been?
to Carol Burnett and back. We're talking about variety shows and horror and schlock and A-list stars.
Elizabeth says, hubby says maybe the Pumpkin's dogs ate the script.
Yeah, that could happen, you know.
Bumpus hounds. Yep.
I'm still drinking the remains of a zombie, which is not.
Oh, thank you,
for the light of heart.
Oh, thank you. We look forward to it too.
Every Wednesday is a blessing to be able to be with you all.
Yes.
Here on 2 platforms.
Chaz is saying, loved it when Darren McGavin showed up on the X-Files. Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that so cool? That's just continuity at the end of the day.
Okay.
Well, as always.
Next week, the Blob.
Find some Blob in 7 short days. It's been fantastic.
It's streaming somewhere.
Oh, yeah, it is. You can find the Blob easily. I'm just talking about like...
No, because I saw it. So, yeah. I don't remember where, but it is streaming.
What I'm trying to say is, see us here in 7 days for Blob. See the Blob itself anytime you want, wherever you can. Boom. But it's been fantastic to spend a couple of hours with you today on a Wednesday at your regular time before something unexpected occurs.
What? Don't tempt fate.
No. And talk to you about some great stuff. Kolchak, it's a fantastic thing. People love Kolchak. I love Kolchak. I never saw this show as a kid. I don't know why. And maybe one of these days I'll figure it out. And maybe I'll figure that out around the same time that I figure out why it did not run longer than it did. But the concept that the network execs were a little like lily-livered, I believe that in a second because they usually are. They usually will not actually black line something going forward because they're a bunch of wimps. We believe in vigorous content. This is why when you have a comment that is a problem to YouTube, we probably actually authorize it because
Sean.
It's not time for us to censor comments. Your comments are valid, and we let them ride. Who was Sean?
Sean.
Oh, hey, Sean. Awesome. Great to see you, dude. We need to do a show in your bar. I'm just saying.
Wow, talk about inviting yourself over. But anyway.
I did. But the simple fact is, Kolchak is awesome. Watch all 20 episodes, which were allowed by the network at the time.
And the movies.
There's 2 TV movies. Check them out.
Yes.
We've been talking about a lot of other content. It's all worth watching, folks. We have some product for sale. We told you about that about 20 minutes ago. That will help us do what we do. And as always, wherever you go and whatever you do, don't worry about it. We will see you